Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at people who ignored their gut feelings. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. Don't do that. When I was a teenager, I was riding in the car with some friends. The driver was speeding a little and acting like an idiot in general. We stopped so he could switch out a CD. This was in the 90s. I had a bad feeling he was going to eventually wreck the car and someone would die or get hurt badly. I almost got out of the car. I didn't though. We did end up wrecking less than 20 minutes later. I came close to severing an artery in my neck when we crashed. Everyone else's injuries were fairly minor, including the driver. His reckless actions caused the accident. I wish I would have trusted my gut instinct. They were literally so close to dying. That's scary to think about. It's like one decision and then your life is over. I had a feeling one of my immediate family members was going to die. My parents rented a beach house for the 33rd anniversary in October 2021, and since I lived close by, I met them there for a mini family vacation. The last night of the trip, all of us were hanging out in the living room watching TV after eating dinner, and I got the overwhelming sense that this would be the last time my life would ever truly be perfect. I was in my favorite place, staying in my favorite beach house that my parents had been renting since I was 4. Both of my parents were healthy and well, sitting on the couch beside me, and both of my dogs were snuggled up to my side. The feeling was so strong that I even took out my phone and took a video panning the room because I had a feeling this would be a moment I would never want to forget. The next day, I hugged my parents goodbye after packing the car and told them how much I loved them and that I would see them when I would be home for the holidays. My mum passed away instantly the morning of December 18th from what they believe was a brain aneurysm. She was completely healthy with no prior conditions and had no symptoms before it happened to alert her that anything was wrong. I had gone to bed early the night prior, and when I woke up I had 2 text messages. A goodnight text from my mum sent after I had fallen asleep at 10 p.m. telling me how much she loved me, and another from my dad at 7 a.m. saying, "Call me now, it's very important." Half of me died that day with her. That's so scary. You do hear a lot of stories about brain aneurysm, and it's just always so scary every single time you read about it because a healthy person could get it. And it's just so crazy to think about. You could do everything right in your life and this could happen to you. It's just like so unfair. My husband has a lot of health problems. Insomnia is regular occurrence. One night he couldn't sleep. He couldn't get comfortable, had nausea, he had pain. These weren't uncommon symptoms for him, but it seemed a little worse than usual. I knew that heart attack symptoms can be subtle and often are mistaken for heartburn or stomach upset. I told him this and suggested we go to the hospital to play it safe. He said no. Months later, he had some testing done and we learned that he'd had a silent heart attack. They couldn't give us a date, but the time frame matched up with that night he couldn't sleep. I should have put my foot down and made him go to the hospital. Wow. I just find it so crazy that most stories, it's always like the woman telling the guy to go to the hospital and the guy's always like, "I'm fine." Man, we just have crazy gut instincts, honestly. So men and women, listen to your partners, okay? Miss R was caught pulling a neurotypical student down the hallway by his leg while he was laying on his stomach, and then she dropped his backpack on top of him. She was arrested for this, but was still able to return to work, with the addition of cameras in her classroom. What the heck? Just... you know, why do they keep on allowing like abusive teachers back to school? Like, happens once, it's gonna happen again, honestly. People don't change that easily. Most people just don't change. It's very hard to change a person. While out in bond a few months later, she was caught abusing one of the autistic kids in her class multiple times, allegedly smacking him at least one occasion with a flip-flop. After the second incident, our local newspaper shared an article that had written about this teacher many years earlier when she was 12 and had murdered a 14-year-old classmate. What? I'm just so confused. And she was still allowed to be a teacher afterwards? What? Why is that like not on her record? Like just because she's 12 or something? If you're 12, you already know stuff, okay? You know what's right and what's wrong. I'm just so confused. Like, where is this? I'm pretty sure it's not over here in Australia, but Where the heck is this? Oh wait, I'm reading about it now. This story just gets worse. She pleaded guilty and was placed on 3 years probation. Yeah, this won't sit right in today's time, honestly. This happened in 1972. My mum was a crazy hippie. I moved out at 16 and was eventually able to establish a close but cautious relationship with her. At this point, she was living on a boat in the Florida Keys. I loved her dearly, but she suffered from addictions and was in a relationship that was terribly abusive. I started having nightmares about her boyfriend calling me. In the dreams, he would tell me she fell off the boat and they couldn't find her. My gut told me I couldn't be the one to save her. She was a grown woman making her choices. I decided to go no contact again, but I kept putting off the conversation. I'd do it after her birthday. 2 days before her birthday, I got the call. She fell into the ocean while intoxicated, and her body wasn't found until the next morning. So they did listen to the gut, because they said the gut told them not to save her, but the gut also told them that it was going to happen. This one confuses me. I think it must be because things like this has happened a few times and she probably felt like she couldn't be the one to save her mum every single time something happens. They had a gut feeling, but you can't always be sure that your gut feeling is right. Like, she's probably already feeling so guilty about this, and I really don't want her to be too guilty about it. My friend had a boyfriend who just gave me bad vibes when we talked on the phone. I couldn't put my finger on it, but something about him rubbed me the wrong way. Then, about a year into the relationship, he says we can't see each other. After she asked me to come hang out with her and her friends. I told her I didn't feel comfortable meeting him, so I never did. He ended up murdering her. What? So the boyfriend was saying that the friends can't hang out anymore? Oh my gosh, that is a freaking sign. That is a sign. When your friend's partner starts telling you that you can't hang out with them anymore, or they can't hang out with you anymore, that's a freaking sign that they are abusive, honestly. Those people are freaking obsessive, manipulative, and scary. When I was a kid, my mum and I were going to a friend's house for a play date. I did not want to leave the house. I wanted to bring my favorite things because I knew they weren't safe at home. She wouldn't let me. We went to the play date, and when we came home, the entire house was on fire. We lost 99% of our stuff. Well, at least you did leave the house, and you're fine. Late one night, I was riding my bike on the sidewalk, coming home with groceries. I saw this dude stand between the street and the sidewalk up ahead and felt sketched out. I thought about going into the street instead of past him, but there was no driveway or anything, so I just kept going forward. Bad call. That guy and 2 of his friends mugged me, and I had to have emergency eye surgery that night. Oh my gosh. Jeez. People suck. It's like, just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. You're just like, nah, I'm sure I'm just overthinking it. I'm sure they're not a bad person. And then you get mugged. Sucks, huh? Sucks. When I was 14, I had met this guy online, and it was so cool because he lived in my area and he just turned 15. After a couple months of talking and him displaying a million red flags that I was too naive to see, I finally gave in to him, begging me to meet up. He was cute and kept extremely active and fit, and I really had to talk myself into it. On my walk to meet him, every cell in my body was screaming at me not to go, but I pushed past all of it. No! He was actually like 30 years old, at least 350 pounds, and was super greasy, unwashed, and stinky. I had no idea it was even him. I just walked right past him and then he called my name. I was instantly so scared. He kept looking at a car driving by repeatedly and said it was his mum checking in on him. It was wintertime and he joked about how stupid I was that I walked there because he can just follow my footprints back to my house. The whole interaction lasted like 20 minutes before I finally got the courage to tell him I was leaving. I made sure I walked the opposite direction of my house and away from him and walked around for nearly 3 hours before going home. A 5-minute walk from where we met, but I told him it was much further. He still managed to stalk me for a few years and I was too scared to tell anyone because I thought it was my fault. What a creep, dude. Oh my gosh, people are so pathetic. That's so sad that they thought it was their fault. It is scary though, because when you're young, you feel like if you call the police, you're gonna get in trouble for meeting up with someone online, right? I could totally get them thinking like that. But it would have been good if they called the police and had this guy arrested. So creepy. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.